Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm here with a quick update on this journal that I'm working on. It's my design team project for Done by Dorothy, and I'm working with her kit with the mountain flowers and really pretty ephemera and pages. So I was getting the cover worked out first before I did the pages. So I just wanted to give you an update so that in case you were making a journal like I was from scratch, and we did the cardboard inside and we put that together. Then we did the outside cover where we covered it with fabric, and I was working out how I was going to do this bird, whether I was going to use a bigger piece of that Edith Holden page or just cut out the bird, and I ended up cutting out the bird in my last video. So I went ahead and sewed it on. So before I put fabric inside, so that you wouldn't see the sewing from the inside, I sewed on the bird here. I sewed all around the edge of the bird, so he is nice and secure, and I think I picked a good spot for him. I really like how it turned out. And I think before I added the little doilies, I went ahead and cut a piece to fit inside. So I just cut a piece to fit right inside the cover. I did not like make a hem and fold it over anything. This fabric didn't really require that. It cut nicely, a nice even edge, and so I just was able to place it down, and I glued it on first. Just because I didn't show this on camera, I was having a little difficulty with my camera, so I went ahead and had to do it off video. But just cut a piece to fit in here, glued it on, sewed all around. So before I did my sewing, I got everything in place as far as this fabric. These pockets I cut, they're lace pockets. I cut those to go on either side, and I glued them down on the edges so everything would stay in place while I was sewing. And then I went ahead and sewed. So I just sewed zigzag stitched around the edges here on both sides of the cover, and then straight stitched. I went ahead and straight stitched around the spine, so right in the groove here, and then across the bottom and across the top. And I actually zigzag stitch also across the top, so it's got a double stitch across the top. I had been afraid that my straight stitch didn't catch, because I sewed right up near the top with my straight stitch, and I was afraid it didn't catch the fabric enough at the top. The bottom was fine. You can see where the fabric goes, comes beyond the stitching here, but up here it was like right at the edge. So in order to make sure that was secure, I went ahead, when I was doing my zigzag stitching on the this part of the cover, I went ahead and went across here, so everything's secure, and the pockets were sewed down all at the same time. So then I had my cover done pretty much, and I just did a little further decorating as far as these doilies I put on here. I kind of just moved things around and was kind of figuring out where the placement of these, and I like how it turned out. I cut this one off here because this was an open space here, and I felt like it needed something, so just put this one here and cut off the edge. I got two little tiny ones here, two little tiny ones here, and this one fit perfectly here. And then I used some of my little flat back pearl stickers on here, glued them down with some fabric tack. And these are, in case you're interested in, you're still figuring out your glues, this is all glued down with fabric tack, all the doilies and the little pearl stickers. This is sewn on here, the bird. So then I was thinking about, I didn't want to wait till the last minute to figure out my closure, so I went ahead and sewed. I had this beautiful ribbon that I thought went very well and matched this journal, so I just zigzag stitched that on right here and right here. So I feel like it's very secure, and I feel like the cover turned out really nice. So then I started working on the pages, and here's what I have so far. 3 nice signatures. Let me show you how they fit in the cover real quick. They fill up this cover very nicely, the 3 signatures. And you can see that's the top, that's the side. I have these pretty laces here that show a little bit, and This is, I said laces, but I think it's actually tatting. So the beautiful, you know, vintage tatting. Who knows how old that is? It could be 100 years old. Some of the tatting has been around for a long time. I probably picked this particular tatting up at an estate sale. And then I have some trims in here too on the pages. This trim I put on 2 pages in each signature. So lots of trims and tatting on the pages. So then I started working on the decorating a few of the pages, and I added some envelopes too. So I'm still just starting to decorate, but I'll show you the envelopes I've done so far. I wanted to put an envelope in each signature and do each one a little differently. I kind of really like the idea of adding some Edith Holden in this mountain flower themed journal from Dorothy's beautiful kit here of the mountain flowers. It just seemed to go along so well. So the first signature I have, let's see, I think I took it apart here. Let me put it back together so you can see, like, here's the first signature, and I've got my first envelope right here. So I wanted to, this one I made out of an envelope and made it a fold out. I covered the front with this really pretty, the front of the envelope with this pretty piece from Edith Holden. I mean, doesn't that go along with the kit perfectly? If you saw my first video, I showed you all the pages, and it just goes along so well. And then, oh, this is a little piece from the kit right here. Dorothy has some little postage stamps in there, and this was the one from the sample page. I told you in the first video where I printed the whole thing, and the first page is like a sample page of everything that's in the kit, but I went ahead and cut out those little samples. So that's, see, here's the, let me show you a full-size one. Here's the full-size postage stamp. See how tiny that one is? It's so cute, right? So that fit perfectly right there as a little postage stamp. And then I just kind of collaged on the back here with pieces to cover this, pieces of Edith Holden. And also the flap here, I put a, just cut a piece to fit there. And that April was from this page where this bird came from. So I just put it right back there in the flap. And this is going to end up being, because I glued it down, but not the whole thing, just across here to secure it. And so this is going to be a tuck spot here. And then you'll have this little flip where you can put things inside this envelope. And this is a nice envelope because it does have a little bit of a lower entry here where you can get things in it, where it goes down like this is what I'm talking about, where you can get things in and out of there pretty easily, I would say. So that was in here. I think it was like, was it like this? I think it was like this. So that's the first envelope. The second envelope, let's see, did a little bit different. I've got a piece of Dorothy's Ephemera right here, where this is going to be a little tuck spot. And I'm going to put a more, do a lot more. I just am getting started. I have a card in here, a vintage card that is right here. It's one of the cards that fold up, but I like to put these in here and leave them open for whoever gets the journal. And then they have this space to slip things into, and they can close this up and make it a pocket too. So, whatever somebody would want to do there. And the envelope in here is, let's see, I just saw it. Thought I just saw it. It is right here. This one I did different. I made it from an Edith Holden page. And if you all have Edith Holden books, there's one page with a snake on it or some snakes or something. And I don't like that page. I don't like snakes. So sorry for the snake lovers, but I don't want to see snakes. So I made made this envelope out of that page. So in case you're wondering, what can I do with that page? It's, you don't like snakes either. The snakes are in here, and if you look in there, you can see them, but if you don't like snakes, don't look in there, right? So I just folded it up so you can't see the snakes. And, you've got the pretty Edith Holden font here. I did distress around. I put a couple pieces here from Dorothy's kit. Aren't they pretty? So pretty. I love this on here. And then, so you have that place, this envelope. I glued it down on 3 sides. So you have this to put things in, and then I left it open on the back where you can slip things in behind too. So That's an idea for the snake page. If you don't like it like I do, don't. And then here's the third signature with the third envelope. So this one, the other one was kind of a manila colored envelope. This is a craft colored envelope. And I kind of did the same thing here. Piece from Edith Holden, one of the little stamps. But this one I didn't decorate on the back. I just wanted to leave it because it's craft colored. And so whoever gets this journal can decorate it and do whatever they want on the back. I mean, that's kind of the idea of some of the envelopes I put in my journals. If it's a junk mail envelope or a blank envelope and I don't decorate it very much, I leave that for whoever gets the journal to decorate, right? I mean, you can totally cover up an envelope, any kind of an envelope, especially if it's blank, right, like this. So this one also has easy access and, you know, craft colored there on the back. And then here's the flap, which also can be decorated. I haven't really thought about the flap yet. I did think about leaving this blank, and that was my plan here. The envelope, the flap, I can leave blank or decorate. I might have to decorate it a little bit because this is so plain. We'll see. But this is also all the flaps, the two flaps where I did the envelopes like this. I left so they can be tuck spots. So that's kind of where I'm at, I think. I'm not going to do a detailed flip through right now. Just wanted to give you an update. We can maybe just, my next step really is to, I think I'm done with the sewing, like all of the tatting here, and this trim, did I sew that on too? This trim is glued on right here. You don't see the sewing there, but all the tatting I sewed on. So that is all sewed on. And I put two tatting pages in each signature and 2 of the trim pages in each signature. And that green really goes perfectly. This trim here goes so perfectly with the kit too. So it has lots of greens and pretty like purples and some yellows. So let's see. So what I would do next is just, I take one signature at a time and I just kind of turn the pages and decide where I want something. So 3 things I got ready for this journal was, I used my first video, not my first video, the video I did where I was working on my friend journal and my personal journal. I showed you my pressed flowers. I have them right here. I put them all in this little, this is probably not the way you're supposed to store them, but this is the way I store them. And they've been just fine in here. So I just put them in this little plastic pouch and, you know, hope for the best as far as preserving them that way. But so don't yell at me if that's not the proper way, but that's how I do it. Anyway, I took 3 of them, and this is a piece from the kit. This is a little calendar piece that Dorothy has a few of these, and they're different colors, I believe. Like here's one. This one's kind of a light tan color. Here's another one, and there's flowers on it. If you can see the flowers in the background of the calendar there. And then there's another one here. Let's see, there's lots of ephemera in this kit. So, oh, there's some bigger ones here too. Oh, that's a bingo card, never mind. Where are the calendars? Anyway, there's so much ephemera in here. But anyway, this calendar I took and I put I just put a little dot of glue when I've been using my pressed flowers so that they stay in place. So I put a little dot of glue underneath them, this one too, and this one. So these are 3 of my pressed flowers. And then I put, this is tracing paper, I put over the top. I tried onion skin, I have onion skin paper too, but it was thicker. You couldn't see it through it as well as the tracing paper. So I ended up using tracing paper here and got glue in my hands. And so this is a periwinkle in here. I just glued it, a little tiny dot of glue on the back to keep it in place. Cut the tracing paper to fit and zigzag stitched around. And kind of the same thing with this. This is a piece from the kit, but this is just a piece of, I'm trying to think what this is. It's just a piece of paper here. And put this, I love this long stem here. I think that's just the coolest. And this is from a weed from my backyard that grew this little, whatever it is, a dandelion or something. And so I just glued it on this paper and then put the tracing paper over and sewed around it. So that's going to be maybe, I'm thinking this will be possibly a tuck spot. I can put it on the side of a page like this. And it can be a tuck spot underneath and a decoration. And then the other one, I have some of these little, they're like little slides, and I have not used, I bought these at an estate sale last summer, and I have not used one of them. This is the first time I've used them. I just, you know, I mean, I know what to do with them. I just haven't got them out and done anything with them. So this one is, you know, you can see it's pretty small, but it's the regular size, I guess. And it has a picture in there. But I put one of my pressed flowers, I glued it right on top of the little picture. And then, again, cut my tracing paper to fit and did a straight stitch around to sew it on. And my sewing machine did go through this. This is a, you know, this is a cardboard one. I think most of them are cardboard. I did see some little plastic ones and some metal ones at the thrift store this weekend. I did not get them because I didn't know what I would want to do with them. I mean, I guess you could glue it down on something, but I just didn't know if I wanted to work with plastic and metal that way, so I didn't pick them up. They'll probably still be there next week if I wanted to get them. But yeah, I just sewed through the cardboard, and you can see it sewed through just fine. So these are going to be little decorations somewhere in the journal, but just to show you how they look on a page. This is ledger paper here. This can be a side tuck. This can be a little corner piece, and this can be also a corner piece, or I can layer it with something. Let's see, what would I layer it with? Let me find a piece here. I mean, here's, you know, you could do some little layering like that. Looks cute. You could put another piece in there, a little postage stamp if I wanted, and just kind of, you know, make a cute little kind of collage or cluster. So, and I have these, I made two of these for this journal, and I've got, let's see, I don't see the other one right here. I've kind of mixed up all my ephemera here, but I've got two little Rolodex cards that I've made. This is a plain cardboardish looking one. It's craft colored, but I thought it would be fun to use some of these in here as some kind of I can make a flip down or a flip over or a pocket or whatever. So I'm going to use these, and this will be decorated too. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know where I'm at in case you were making a journal also from scratch and you needed to know what was happening with me with my journal. So if you have any questions, I think I told you everything what I did, so it's kind of self-explanatory as far as just, you know, how I sewed everything down, then started working on my pages. So I'm going to go ahead and probably sew these in now, do some decorating, and then I'll be back with a flip through, probably a final flip through the next time I show this journal. So I will see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed the update, and I'll thank you for watching. Happy crafting.